Hey guys, Sam from Fantasy Football Flash. I have a lot to say, so I'm going to try to go as quick as I can. For those of you that know that the NFL is scripted, this is kind of a video for you guys. Those of you that are not familiar with this probably isn't going to make much sense to you. So the NCAA is, college football. These are real football players. Now the NFL, these are what I like to call athletic actors. I'll say it again, athletic actors. They are scripted athletes. They obey what the NFL tells them to do. It's a business. They get paid big money for doing that. Now, if you think about it, like some of the scripts that I've seen and some of the things that go, I don't just believe that the outcomes are scripted and all that. I believe some of the injuries are scripted too. And one of the examples is I was watching a Dallas game, and I actually saw CeeDee Lamb go up and catch a pass, fall on his rear end, and go backwards and land on AstroTurf, hit just his head, land on AstroTurf, which is padded, it's soft, and here he's wearing a padded helmet, and he gets a concussion. That's medically impossible. That makes no sense to anybody who has even a little bit of common sense, in them. There's no way he could have gotten a concussion. This was a scripted injury, without a doubt. I've fallen on concrete, from standing up, and I never got a concussion. Now, could I have gotten a concussion? Sure. Could I have gotten really hurt? Sure. I just got lucky. But landing on a padded surface like AstroTurf, I don't know if you've ever felt AstroTurf, but it's soft. And plus, you're wearing a helmet. I mean, half these injuries where someone hits the ground with their helmet, I really think these are fake injuries. I'm not saying every injury in the NFL is fake, but I do believe a good amount of them are. And the reason is to kind of keep things interesting, to keep games close. It's all about keeping these games close. If you look at sports, not every game is supposed to be close. There are blowouts. There are boring parts of sports. That's just how it goes. But in the NFL, you look at all these Thursday games, Monday games, Sunday night games. They're all close, right down to the wire. That's not normal. And why? Well, follow the dollar signs. And this is in life, not just in the NFL. But, I mean, if you follow the dollar signs, you'll more than likely find the answer to your question. And in the NFL, if you think about it, you have Roger Goodell running a multi-billion-dollar company. I mean, what better way to make money than to keep all these games close? Keep bodies in the stands, keep people watching at their house, thus boosting merchandise and whatnot. And if you look at all this, it goes back to, think about these Super Bowls, man. I mean, the halftime show is huge. To get a commercial on the NFL, this is millions and millions of dollars to do that during halftime. So many people watch. They do this. They have to do this, and they have to make it scripted to get this accomplished. How much does it cost for a Super Bowl ticket in the nosebleed section? What, $8,000? How much does it cost for a World Series ticket for baseball? A couple $100, and that's the difference between a sport and something that's predetermined. That's scripted for entertainment. The NFL is entertainment. So some of the examples of some of these games that I've seen, and this goes back to with Tom Brady. I'm going to tell you right now, Tom Brady is the face of the NFL, and this was all predetermined from his dad. This is what I believe. His dad, and this part's definitely fact, his dad is a multi-billionaire, owns an insurance company, very involved in the NFL, giving a lot of money to the NFL. Now, this is what I believe. The trade-off was, I give you all this money, and this is my gift to my son. You're going to make him the face of the NFL. Now, if you look at it, when Tom Brady first came into the league, the rules slowly started to change to benefit him. Now, the commentators and everything say, oh, well, these rule changes, they benefit the quarterback. Well, they're really there to benefit Tom Brady. Tom Brady just happens to be a quarterback. But this is also, he can have longevity, so he can do all these things, win all these Super Bowls. If you look at all the rules now, they've all been manipulated so the refs can interpret them however they want, and they could call whatever they want whenever they want. And that's exactly what's happened. And if you look at Tom Brady's games, every big game that he's ever had has ended on some sort of controversial call. He's never won a game straight up without the help of the NFL and the help of the refs. I mean, game after game, look at the scripting. I mean, when I saw the Rams game versus the Pats, when he was on the Pats, it was a joke. The Rams were coming out of the tunnel with their heads down. They were hugging their coaches before the game started, crying. I even saw some of them crying. It looked like they already lost the game. And sure enough, they did lose the game. So, easy scripted game. The Atlanta game versus the Pats. The Pats needed a miracle to come back or a scripted game to come back. And sure enough, you look at Matt Ryan in the fourth quarter dropping back in it for a pass when all he had to do was run the ball, and logically you run out the clock that way, but he takes a pass, you get an incomplete pass, clock stops. He took a sack, so that put him out of field goal range, and sure enough, we all know how that happened. Pats came back, won the game. Now, if you look at Julio Jones after the game, he was mad. Natural reaction for losing a game like that. And you look at Matt Ryan, because they showed both players, Matt Ryan had this big smile on his face. Like, what are you smiling about? You just lost the biggest game of your life. Or this was all scripted, and he was told to lose that game. He was told to do these things, and he just fulfilled his mission, which is what he was supposed to do. He's a scripted actor. So anyway, some of the other things, going back to the injuries, I think some of these injuries are scripted. Not all of them are, but some of them are. And they do this to keep players out. And if you look at Tom Brady, look at this year. What's happened this year? I mean, he's had so much help. I mean, when they were versing, Jimmy G and the 49ers, Jimmy G gets hurt, goes on IR. Then they verse Tampa next week. How about when they were going to verse Arizona? Kyler Murray goes on IR and Colt McCoy gets hurt, and then they verse Tampa. So I think some of these injuries are scripted for sure. Not all of them are, but I think some of them are. It's not like they release the doctor's reports and you can actually see these injuries physically. So I haven't seen any proof to actually show that these players are injured, just word of mouth, which doesn't mean much. They're coming from reporters. Reporters aren't the most honest people. Let's see. As far as Tom Brady, okay, so this is the facts with Tom Brady. So his dad is a multi-billionaire, giving the league a lot of money, right? So his dad owns an insurance company, multi-billionaire, very powerful guy. Anyway, his gift to Tom Brady was all of this, manipulating the rules. And if you look at when Tom Brady came in the league, these rules were manipulated just for him so he could do all these things. And all the commentators said, well, this is really to benefit the quarterback. No, it was there to benefit Tom Brady. He just happens to be a quarterback. Look at the Tuck rule made up just for Tom Brady. And all these rules are in place now so that the refs can interpret them however they choose to help Tom Brady, along with the league. And every single game he's been in that's big ends on a controversial call. You look at the the Saints game when the Bucs won the Super Bowl. Drew Brees miraculously throws 3 interceptions when they swept the Bucs during the regular season. Look at the Green Bay game, a late pass interference call that helps them win. And look at the Kansas City game. All their offensive linemen are out and completely asymptomatic. They're out on COVID. And here we all know how that game went. Pat Mahomes was running for his life. And if you look at the history with Tom Brady, he was drafted, by the Patriots into the worst division in the league. No franchise quarterback. Bills didn't have a quarterback since Jim Kelly. Dolphins didn't have a quarterback since Marino. And Jets didn't have a quarterback since Namath. And all of a sudden here they get Tua and Josh Allen, and Josh Allen smokes him in the playoffs. And here he jumps ship, goes over to the NFC South into another division. And here, a year later, Drew Brees is gone. Sean Payton's gone, Matt Ryan's gone, Cam Newton's gone, and now again, he's in the worst division. Tom Brady's always had the easiest division in the league, and he's had the best receivers in the league his whole career. He's got 3,000-yard receivers on his team, and he still can't do anything with them. I've never seen this good of receivers ever on any team. I've seen good duos like Isaac Bruce and Terry Holt. But I've never seen a trio of receivers like this. Keep in mind, Tom Brady did play with Randy Moss also. So he's had all the help in the world and all the calls in the world to get him to where he is. Tom Brady is not the guy that y'all think he is. He's not this miraculous little hero. You don't believe me? Watch the documentary called Tom versus Time. There's a scene in there where he makes out with his son. That's right, makes out with his son. I'll post the link down below if you want to see it. If you do watch it, just watch it on an empty stomach because it's sickening. But this is how it is, and like I said, this is all about business. This is all about money, and the NFL does this to script things to make things more enjoyable for you, keep you in your seat. Now, if the NFL was doing this just hosting regular games, and let's say it's a blowout, well, you're going to turn it off and watch, something else. Well, that's not good for ratings. Money goes down. If you're a multi-billion dollar company and you're running this company, you're going to keep the money flowing, right? So scripting games is an easy way to do that. So, but that's just personally what I believe with all this. There's plenty of evidence out there. Hopefully now when you're watching games, you see this, you watch closely, and you can actually see this happening. Eventually, I think they'll have to come out and just like the WWE and say, yeah, this is scripted. We do this, and that's that. But who knows when this will happen? It may not happen in my lifetime, but eventually I think it will come out that it's scripted. So thank you guys. Like and subscribe. Hopefully you like the video.